It's not enough for them. Now they want to go after, they're suing in the courts in Ontario to push for mental health as being the sole criteria for MAID. That's dying with dignity in the courts. They're pushing in the courts in British Columbia, where religious identity, religious liberty is not enough. You still have to MAID people in your premises, right? They're destroying these foundations, and they're calling themselves a human rights organization, but they're working in the court. They came after us. They came after the Delta Hospice Society to force a hospice to kill its patients. So it's interesting how these people calling themselves human rights organizations, but the true human rights movement is the protection of human life in Canada.
Yes. And when I used the term sociopath earlier, well, I'm not a psychiatrist. I was using it in the sense that a psychiatrist would. I discussed this with psychiatrists, psychologists. Psychopaths are born. Sociopaths are made. A psychopath has something wrong, physically wrong, with their brain. Those areas of the brain that are responsible for love, empathy, they're underdeveloped or non-existent. But sociopaths have normal brains. They're trained to be sociopaths. They learn to be sociopaths. So as you said, they're going after the children. And they are trying to turn them into sociopaths. People who have no empathy. And once you remove the empathy, you remove the connection. Wow.
That is the future.
If we don't stop it. If we don't stop it. So we talked about the things that we can do. Of course, we have to object to this. I mean, and folks, call your MP, call your MLA, tell them that you object to this, because they know that for every person that will take the time to call them, there's 100 more out there who feel the same way. Make it clear that if they don't resist this agenda, you're not voting for them, and you represent 100 more people who won't vote for them. But is there anything that the viewers can do to help the Delta Hospice Society in your push to get this sanctuary?
Yeah, we always need supporters. We believe that our numbers equal our strength. DeltaHospiceSociety.org. You can become a member for $10 a year. You can be on that roster of supporters. When it comes down to hopefully being in front of the Minister of Health of British Columbia, Josie Osborne, at the moment needs to understand that we have strength behind us, that we want a sanctuary. We want a national sanctuary for the dying. We're going to call it sanctuary for the living. That we need to be allowed the freedom to do that. We're not even asking them for any money. All we're asking them is the ability to do it. So, this is what we need. We need people behind us to support us, to provide it. We need provincial government to write into legislation the protection of palliative care in its authentic, right? Authentic and original way. I'm looking to British Columbia. I'm looking to Alberta. That if we cannot do this in British Columbia, will you allow us to do this in Alberta?
Yes.
Because we will come. We will come. Because we will do it there.
As far as I know, only Alberta and Saskatchewan have any kind of protections in place against this.
But we always need the blessing, right? We always need the written approval of the ministers, so that at some point, because we had the blessing. We were the gem when we opened up our sanctuary, our hospice in British Columbia.